Alright guys, Gary aka Hopeless here. Hope you're all well and enjoying this lovely weather in this lockdown. And I can see a grey cloud out through that window. If you saw the last video, I did say that I had a Elegoo Mars 3D resin printer now. And I think I'm getting comfortable with it. I'm not one of those sorts of people who will say that I have mastered it after or mastered a skill after one or two successful things have happened. I like to think that I'm constantly learning. I'm really enjoying it. Benefit of having one of these is obviously being able to go onto Patreon and seeing some really cool miniature and model makers. One of these, which I do follow on Patreon now, is, as you can see in the background, or maybe not because I've just realised how badly I've got that aimed. The Lion's Tower Adventurers Guild. You do get a couple of miniatures from the guy who runs this page when you buy from my mini factory, which is where I got my printer. What this guy does is every month is a different theme. April's theme is anti-heroes. So I've got a nice selection of models that I have finished painting, and a couple of still to be finished. But this video looks more at this. If he goes into focus, although if you've seen the thumbnail you know exactly what it is. So this is the Orc Berserker, and in this video I'm going to show you how I painted him. Anyway, let's go and have a look at this. As always, this was started with a matte black surface primer and then gone over with Liquitex titanium white to do the shadows and highlighting. And the orc flesh was done with Games Workshop's Militarian Green contrast paint. I prefer this one over the actual orc flesh contrast paints just because that just seems a bit too bright for my liking. At least this one offers more of a weathered appearance to me. And for the trousers, bracers and the leather strap for his shoulder armour, I used Nazdrag Yellow. And I think it came out quite nicely overall. And for the hair and the beard I used Basilicanium Grey contrast paints, just because I like how it dries. Kind of, to me, it makes him look a little older. I don't really think you see that many old orcs. Normally killing each other. Went for Blood Angels Red on the fur trim for the boots, the wrist guards and the shoulder pads. Because green and red always goes together. And then for all the metalwork I went for Iron Hand Steel because I like how that is a more dirty looking metallic colour than Leadbelcher. And I don't think I use this colour enough. To be fair, it's between Leadbelcher and Grey Knight Steel, which is that really nice blue metal look. But no, I figured these guys are anti-heroes. They don't particularly care too much about having the latest gear. Well, in my head, anyway. Yeah, so their stuff's going to be a bit battered, going to be a bit used. So all the metalwork is not going to be looking as pristine as it could do. These guys, they just get the job done. That's over the shoulder guard, the axe blade, and the sword. And even the belt buckle, mainly because I wanted to try something out in a bit. And then we're going over what I think is a dragon skull on the shoulder and 2 human skulls on his hip with skeletal hoard. That was a bit weird. Why did it sound like I was doing a broadsword? And then I break out the snakebite leather to go over his boots and belt. And I am, of course, still working out where I am trying to focus my camera on this new setup. I swear it will get better one day. And what I wanted to see was what snakebite leather over the Iron Hands steel would look like. And I think it comes out quite nicely. Very, very dirty bronze. That's how I'd put that. So I did that over the belt buckle and the sword handle. And then using Black Templar for the rope that's binding the skull to his shoulder and keeping the human skull connected to his hip. And then again for the axe handle wrap. And after doing all that, I realised I'd actually got some Iron Hand steel on the back of the horn on his shoulder, so I just thought, you know what? Sod it. I'm not going to redo that with the bone. Let's just do it with more Blood Angels red. And then I went the shaft of the axe with the old Wildwood brown. Nice, dark, natural looking brown colour, I think. And I realised I'd forgotten to actually paint the right wrist guard with the Iron Hand steel. So I'll just quickly do that before anyone notices. And then we go in to make an absolute mess of his teeth with the base colour Wraith Bone. It's not too bad, I just, yeah, a bit heavy handed going along the bottom jaw. But I do go back and correct it. Well, I corrected it as well as I could. And basically looked at his eyes and thought, you know what, not going to bother. And there he is, permanently squinting. And then once it was all dry, I went over the metalwork with Agrax Earthshade, just to age it all a bit more. So that was the sword, shoulder guard, belt buckle, axe handle, or axe blade actually. And then to finish off, I printed off a couple of the bases from the welcome pack that Lions Tower Miniatures offer when you join them as a patron. And just did a nice simple, I think that was Black Templar, because I've actually forgotten to write that down. I'm going to say, yeah, Black Templar over the cobblestone, and then just simple Abaddon Black around the edges just to neaten it up. So, yeah, that is the Orc Berserker from Lions Tower Miniatures. What do you guys think of it? What would you have done differently? Do you have a 3D printer, and are you looking to do some of these yourself? If so, I'll put a little link down to his Patreon page down below. As always, if you did like what you see, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more things like this in the future. I'm Gary, aka Hopeless. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So until then, see ya!